Good morning, good morning. Let me start the Facebook Live. It's good morning, good morning. It's daylight savings here in Sydney, and I'm just a little bit late. It was a little bit challenging getting up this morning because I got up quite early yesterday and was asleep quite late. And anyway, I'm here. Good morning, Diane. Lovely to have you on here. So good to have everyone here. I don't know what time it is for you, but it's 8:30, so normally 7:30 for me. And I'm going to start the webinar and the slides straight away. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Fiona. So this morning we're going to be talking about planning our future. I'm going to have a sip of my cup of tea. I'd love to hear if it's 7:30 or 8:30 for you and what you're doing on this public holiday, because it's a public holiday here in Sydney as well. So yeah, were you sleeping in and then you just happened to see that I was on? I would love to know. So let's get started. Today, we're going to be talking about planning your future. I spoke about it last time just because, yeah, 7:30, Janine. Yeah, 7:30 over there. And I don't know if it's a public holiday in Queensland. I have a feeling it is. Good morning, Tam. I actually tried to get on to your event last night, but I fell asleep. So I'm so sorry about that. So, we're going to be talking about planning your future. So I'm going to start my usual stuff and explain to everyone that doesn't know who I am. My name is Elizabeth Eleanor, and I have been an energy healer and mentor for about 18 years. I'd say it's now 20 years, to tell you the truth. I've been saying that for too long. I started off as a remedial massage therapist, single mum of two beautiful children that are now 26, if I remember correctly, and 24 at the moment. Turns 25 at the end of this year. And so they were part of my process of learning all about spirituality and understanding about energy and vibration. And they walked through the journey with me. In fact, my son was the one that sort of started me on this whole process. I remember he used to come out with some really, really weird stuff when he was younger, and talk about Wizard World. And he had these air friends that they used to wake him up of a night time, and they'd come at school time as well. So I ended up having to talk to them. That was one of my processes of understanding that I could actually talk to the spirit world, was when I went into his bedroom. He used to wake up every night, like start sort of getting, tossing and turning. And so I'd go in there and calm him down before he actually fully woke up. And then one night, while I was going through this process of understanding what I was doing and all that sort of stuff, because I had to go through 3 doors to get to his room, right? And one night, I thought, I'm so tired. I'm just going to go in my light body, right? Which was a new thing for me. I'm going to go in my light body and see what happens. And so I went into his room, and sure enough, there was these 3 beings. One was an actual alien, believe it or not. 3 beings that were trying to wake him up to play. And I said to them, you can hang out with him anytime, not in school and not while he's sleeping. And any other time you can hang out and play as long as you want, just not in those 2 periods of time. And he actually woke up in his light body. We had a bit of a dance. It was really fun. My daughter came in her light body. I thought that there was nothing to it, like at the time I thought it was my imagination, that I was, dreaming the whole thing. But from that moment on, now he woke up every single night. But from that moment on, he didn't wake up during the night ever again. So that was one of my things, like, oh, there's something in this. There's something going on here. However, he was the one that actually started me on the process. I remember him saying that he had all these tools that he'd left in my belly when he was born. And you know, me and a friend were sort of laughing about all these tools that he was talking about. About 3 or 4 months later, he's rushing past me to go to the toilet, and he stopped and he said, "Remember those tools I told you about?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You're going to give birth to them soon." And didn't think much of it. Well, within the month, I'd gone to see a psychic who, long story, but in that process, discovered all these energies touching me and beings around me and all that sort of stuff. And that was the start of my experiential spiritual journey. I think that you don't necessarily have to have a spiritual experience like that to be on a spiritual journey. I feel that life is a spiritual experience if you allow it to be, and understand that every process that you go through, you're making that from your highest, you know, you're making that from your mind and your lower self, or you're making that from your higher self and your intuition. And that's what I'm here to support women in general, although I am working with a man at the moment, and I have worked with men previously as well. So today we're going to be talking about planning your future. So the first thing in planning your future is, where do you want to be? And so if you've got a pen and paper, this could be an interactive experience for you. So where is it that you actually want to be? What is it that you want to create in your future? Good morning, Raya. We tend, if you're anything like I used to be, we tend to just let life happen to us. And so there is no creating. I remember the first time I was with someone, you know, in a training, and they asked, what can you see in your future in a year? What can you see your future in 3 years? What can you see in 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years? So I was able to do 1 year. 3 years, I sort of went, okay, I'm going to make things up. 5 years, I couldn't think of anything. I had no visualization of what I wanted in the next 5 years. And so it's a really interesting process to go, what sort of future are you creating? Because we are creating our own reality, and either you're allowing and getting influenced by others to create your reality, and they're influencing you, like going to the petrol station and seeing 2 Mars bars, you know, buy one, get one free, or whatever they've got smothered all over petrol stations these days. And so next thing, you're getting a bargain, so you're paying for something that you actually don't need, is not going to be benefiting your future. You know, you're paying money out that could have gone towards a holiday or your investment or your, you know, future savings, your retirement, all of those things. These are the sort of things that we really need to be thinking of if we're supporting ourselves to plan and create our own future. And so what is the time span? So what's your destination, right? So if you're going, which we all can't at the moment, right? We can't go fly overseas. However, when we could, when you decided you were going somewhere and you went to the plane website, the airline website, the first thing they ask is, where are you and where do you want to be? So you've got to put in where your location is now, and you've got to say where your destination is. And then the next thing they ask you is what date are you wanting to fly? So it's the same as that. When you're thinking about your future, what are you creating? What is it that you really, really want in your future? And you could do this. Do 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. Write them all down on a piece of paper and have fun. Play around with it. Forget whether it's realistic or not. Just put it all down and decide that you're going to look at those things and decide whether they're going to be something you create or not? Do you believe that it's a realistic goal? And is it outside of your comfort zone? Because if it's something that is a little bit unrealistic, or you're thinking that it's unrealistic, then you're going to put that as a burden on you rather than seeing it as fun and doing it with grace and ease, right? So they're all the things. Where do you want to be? What's your destination? Like, do you want to get a house? Do you want to get a car? Do you want some money? Do you want a beautiful partner? Do you want a holiday? I'm talking about physical things at the moment, right? So what's the time span? When do you want that by? Do you believe that it's realistic? And is it outside of your comfort zone? Because when you're inside your comfort zone, generally, you're not stretching yourself, and your energy field will not grow and expand from that experience. I'm going into new slides without without going into it. So then you want to break it down. So just say in a year's time, I have decided that I want to buy a new car. I don't know if I want to put that out. Let me cancel and delete that. So in a year's time, I actually did put something out on my emails the other day, and I'm going to be completely transparent and outside of my comfort zone. So I'm just sharing with everyone. I've decided that I'm not 100% ready right this second. However, within the year, I would like to find a beautiful partner, someone that I'm ready to settle down with. I've had so much going on in my life that I love being by myself. I'm an introvert. I love my life. I love my family. I love the experience of who I am. And so I can sometimes forget about having that experience with a significant other person. And so just in the last maybe, I don't know how long, I have been thinking about whether I want to share the journey of living my life with some beautiful man in my life. And so so that's so I'm going to put that out just to let everyone know. So within a year, I would like to experience meeting a beautiful man, right? So I'm breaking it down. So how long have you given yourself? Just say it's 12 months. So then you want to divide that into, if it's years, just say it's 5 years that you've decided. In 5 years' time, I'm going to give that as an example rather than the man, because that's a little bit not as solid goal to. It is a solid goal. However, let me do something that's physical. So in 5 years' time, I want to own my own house. That's a great example. So you want to divide that up into years, months, weeks, and then days. So if I wanted to buy a house and it was going to be 800,000, for example, you want to work out how much that is every year that you need to put together, how many months, weekly and daily. What is it that you require every week to be achieving to get to that goal? Then create an account. So for example, if I was talking about a house, I would want, what is it, 20% deposit or something like that. So you create an account. This is my house account. And so you go every week, I'm going to allocate myself that much money and put it aside. If it's a holiday, same thing. I'm going to put that money aside every week. I'm committed to that, and I'm dedicated to my goals and my dreams. I'm just looking at I want to be well before considering attracting a partner. I choose. Absolutely. Okay, so that's your goal, right? Your goal is to get healthy. So give yourself a time span. You can do this with anything. Give yourself a time span. If it's 12 months, Diane, work out every week what is it that you have to do. And when you're doing something like health, you want to be putting it into a daily practice. Forget what your time span is at the end of the process, because that can be overwhelming. However, you can actually go every day, I'm committing to being healthy. So today, what am I doing? What am I choosing to create that reality for myself? So that's the action that you require, right? So you've broken it down. If it's something that's going to cost money, you've created an individual account, and then you look at the actions that are required. So for example, if it was someone looking for a partner, there's a few things that I would like before I get a partner. I have, in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, I've put what I consider a little bit more weight on than I prefer. And, you know, since I've moved down to Sydney, and I'm letting people influence me and eating wheat instead of, like, not all the time, but just I was there for a while as I was working through processes. And so I have cut out wheat again, and dairy, I've always cut out dairy. And so drinking more water, what are the things that I'm doing? Exercise, all of those things that I'm doing to create the body that I require for what I think I need when I'm going to be creating a beautiful partner in my life. I will get to that in the next slide. So what is the actions that are required? Write all this down, guys. Work out, break it all down into the monthly and weekly goal. And what are the actions required each day? You could even, if you're in, you know, that way inclined, you could create like a spreadsheet, that something you could tick off every day. Okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Woohoo, I've done it for the day. I'm on my way to the goal that I am after, that I'm experiencing at the, you know, in a couple of years' time or whatever it is. I just realized how much I talk with my hands. So the most important part of creating is, how are you feeling about it? If this is a burden for you, then there's something that's going to, on a vibrational level, you are sabotaging your experience. So how are you feeling? What emotions are coming up? So you've got yourself written down a goal. What emotions are coming up as you think about that goal? With finding a partner, there's a fair bit of emotions that come up with that for me. I've had a couple of experiences with different partners, and I know that I will, I've worked on myself vibrationally enough never to experience those again. However, there's other vibrations within me that can be a bit challenging. You can find yourself in this duality within yourself. I want a man, I want someone to share my life with. Oh, I really enjoy my own time, my own experience. I love living by myself. There's all, like, if you're really serious about shifting vibrations and shifting your reality, it's being aware of all the vibrations that are inside of you that can be creating discord, where the universe goes, oh, you want this? Oh, you don't want this? Oh, you want this? Oh, you don't want this? So be aware what emotions are coming up as you think about the goal that you've created. And are you already self-sabotaging yourself with excuses? Are you already going, oh, that won't happen because I can't go overseas because of COVID? COVID won't be here forever, right? Now's the perfect time to be starting to save up for a beautiful holiday overseas, because eventually we're all going to want to get out of Australia soon. So look at that. What are the feelings coming up when you've written something down, hopefully, or if you haven't done that, re-watch this with a piece of paper and a pen. You've written something down. How do you feel about it? What emotions are coming up? Are you already creating excuses? And watch what patterns come up. How's your vibration? What are the thoughts? What is your mindset? Do you feel you can achieve this? Are you making this all too serious? Have fun with this, guys. This might be a great opportunity to see how good you are at consciously creating. So when you've got a goal, you want to break it down, see what's going to happen each day, each week. What do you need to set aside financially? What is it that you need to do? What are the actions that are required from yourself? And then look at all of the patterns, look at all of the more like feelings of being unsure, I can do it alone. I'd love to know what your future plan is, what your goal is, Wendy, because it'd be really interesting to see if it is something that you can do alone. I support your victory in it. So be aware of all of those things that you're thinking, feeling, and your vibration, because your vibration is actually the most important part of this. You're struggling with it, Rebecca. We'll have to talk about that on our call today. Okay, so tips for success. If you really, really want this, be committed. We can get caught up in the day-to-day grind. If we watch what's going on out there in social media and the news, then all of a sudden we're not in our own reality anymore. We're in the collective consciousness, and that collective consciousness is like a wave, and it can just carry us out to sea without even being aware of it. When you want to choose something for yourself, be committed to that choice. This is an opportunity, just like my experience, that was with my son Curtis, where I went in with my light body into his room. That was only one experience I had. I'm very, very grounded. When I started my spiritual journey, how good are you willing to allow life to get? Absolutely. That's a fantastic question, Tam. How good are you willing to allow life to get? We tend to think in a depressive way that there's something that stops us from moving forward when life is full. Life is full of expansion. What we have the ability to create is mind-blowing if we allow that to happen. So what I was saying was, when I first started my spiritual journey, I actually didn't believe in some of the stuff that was happening to me. I used to think, I used to see this, when I first started, I used to see this little girl on the side of the road in Holloway's Beach. Holloway's Beach has got one access road into it. It's up in Cairns. And there was this little girl, like a spirit, and she was right next to a signpost. So I used to just think, oh, she's a signpost, like not even think about it, until I got a sign from the universe, from God, from Creator, that what I was doing, seeing, experiencing was for the good, I was working for the right team, and that it was all real. And that's when I was able to go, okay, so that ghost is not a signpost. And next time, so I used to see her all the time when I went into Holloway's. if it was late at night or whatever, I would see this little girl in a Victorian nightdress. So when I finally got this physical experience, so I used to need physical evidence that what was happening to me was real. When I got these, I got 3 shooting stars, and that's a whole story in itself, right? I'm driving into Holloway where I lived, and I saw this little girl again, and I actually was able to say to her, what are you waiting for? And she told me that her father, she was waiting for her father to come home from work. And in a split second, if anyone's had any, whether you call it psychic, any experiences like this, everything comes to you very fast. Once you've asked a question, bang, it's there. And so she told me that she was waiting for her father. Now, split second, I saw that her father had died in a horse and cart accident, creating the Kuranda Range. And as soon as I saw that, and she told me that, I saw all of her family, generations, like, I don't know, 20 maybe more people behind her in this big soul group, I suppose it was. And I said to her, hun, he's behind you. All you've got to do is turn around. And she turned around and they all went, and I never saw her again. And I had many experiences like that when I was first starting. And so that to me was physical evidence. Okay, this must be real. Something's really going on here. And so when you're in that process of going, I'm going to create a beautiful future, I'm going to plan for my future, and you've made those steps that we just talked about, be committed to it. Play it as a game. See how well you are at creating. Commit to all of the steps that we just spoke about and work with that, having total trust and faith in the system, the universe, God, creator, source energy, whatever language is yours. Have total trust and faith in that. If you can't have, if having total trust and faith in you and your ability is not working for you, then have faith in the system, in creation. So be committed to the steps that we just spoke about. Check in with your vibration, your emotions, and your mindset on a daily basis. Create daily declarations to inspire yourself. Now, I say declarations rather than affirmations because you want to declare that you've got the right to have this experience. I declare myself worthy. Say them every morning. I've got this, I do a cold shower every morning. After I've had my shower, I turn off the hot water and I have a cold shower. And I say these declarations while I'm freezing in this water as a way of strengthening myself and being aware of all of the things that I declare as rightfully mine in my life. Add check-in alarms. Oh, I was just looking for my phone and realized I'm on my phone. have alarms that are on your phone that declare, like you can actually set your alarm and then you can put a reminder in there that when that alarm goes off, something comes up onto your screen, right? Have some sort of daily reminder on your phone. I can do this. I am worthy. I'm going overseas. I'm buying a new car. I'm having a new partner, whatever it might be. Put calendar prompts to look at your progress through. So what I'm saying is actually focus on it. Focus on this being what you're creating. Visualize. There's no difference between reality and imagination to spirit. I was listening to something the other day and the guy was talking about shamans that he had hung out with. And he said, because they were talking about ayahuasca and medicine plants, and he said that when he's talking to the shamans, when he first started talking to them, he never knew whether they were actually talking about reality or their spirit journey, because they say, I saw a jaguar. And when he was like, did you really see a jaguar, or was it in your medicine journey? And he said, I saw a jaguar. Does it really matter? And in spirit, it actually doesn't, because our mind cannot decipher the difference between reality and your visualizations. Good morning, Irene. That must mean it's 9 o'clock. Thank you for the reminder. So be aware, visualize yourself in that place. Look up Pinterest, dating sites, bank accounts, study, build your knowledge on what it is that you want to achieve. If it's something that's financial and you're not financially intelligent at the moment, then look at little mini courses that you can do, or get some books on how to be financially independent. Build your knowledge around what it is you want to achieve. Look, Pinterest is great. If you're looking for destinations, Pinterest is a fantastic place to look for traveling tips, or, you know, creating a new wardrobe, or whatever it is that you want to do. Watch your language around your dreams, and only share them with people that will encourage you. Be aware of the dream squashers that are in your life. And if you've got people in your life that tend to squash your dreams, oh, that's not real, you can't do that. Who are you joking? You know, like, oh, that's too expensive, whatever it may be, shut your mouth. Never share your dreams with that person again. See dreams as a place of incubating, like you're pregnant. A baby takes 9 months to grow to a place where it's ready to share itself with the world, right? Incubate your dream if you need to. Whisper it to those people that are encouraging you, people that influence you in a positive way, that say, yes, you can do that. I'm so excited for you. Whatever it might be, watch your language around your dreams. Allow yourself to say, I can do this. I am worthy. I am going. I will have. I am, and then make that declaration. Because as soon as you say, I can't, I don't, I won't, I've forgotten, I don't know how, all of those things are reversing the creation of what you are in the process. You know, is over and over and over again in spiritual texts. It will say, speak and it's declared. The power is in the tongue. All of those things, all spiritual texts and scriptures have some form of declaring whatever comes out of your mouth is what you're creating. Be aware of that. So if this is something that excites you, if this is something that you are ready to jump into and declare as part of your reality, then click on, if you're on the webinar and this is your first time, click on the QR code, that little funny thing there, and jump into Elizabeth Ellen or the Spiritual Warrior. You can message us on there and see how courageous you are, and declare in Facebook or to me as a message what your goal is that you want to achieve, how long it's going to take you, what time frame you've given yourself, and what are some of the actions that you're going to start creating, ready to see that as a reality. And if you need, no, let me change that. If you require a little bit more information about how to go about this process, re-watch this replay and go through it with step by step with a piece of paper and a pen or a beautiful journal or something like that. If your vibration, you can feel things like mindset, energy blocks, things that are in your system that are causing you to doubt your ability to create this, then jump in the chat and put yes, please. And we can organize a 30-minute chat so that we together can sort out how to shift those vibrations and create the reality that is what you are destined to do. We're destined to be creators. Morning, Jabiru. So jump in the chat, say yes in here, and we will have more of a chat about it. And I want to thank you for attending. And I want to tell you about I'm stepping up. I'm stepping up. Things are really shifting at the moment. I am aware of a new vibration that's happening at the moment. Jabiru, I'm sure you are as well. Things have really, vibration is really taking off in a very profound way at the moment. And I'm being guided to move into the same direction, but a different one at the same time. I'm being guided to share with people how to really own their vibration and move into creating their reality with abundance, with everything that they truly dream of, and how to actually create that in their reality. So I have a half-day event coming up in October on the 17th. Is going to be called Embodying Your Intuition. If you're interested in going to this, put down half day and we will send you the link so that you can register. It's time for us to step up and to focus on our creation and not what we are being influenced to stay low in our vibration, to take our ears away from the influences out there and to completely focus on what we are creating and how we're creating. So now's the time. Yes, please, for half day. Excellent. Guys, I will make sure that we send you the link for that. Thank you everyone for watching. This seems to be a beautiful time. I've got a little bit more people on here, whether it's the subject or whether it's the timing, I'm not quite sure. However, thank you so much for spending time with me this morning. I'm hoping that I've given you some value, and enjoy the rest of your week. And if it's a public holiday for you, go and have some fun. Take care, everyone. See ya. Thank you, everyone on the webinar. Oh, that goes on by itself. Thank you. It was a wonderful way to start today. Oh, thank you, Diane. Take care, and all of the ladies that are on here from our course. I will see you at 10 o'clock Sydney time. So we did the poll and we're going to stay at the same time. So I'll catch you all a little bit later today. Let me just turn that off. Take care, everyone. See ya. Bye.